Well, Dave, you were pretty candid last night or yesterday. You didn't like the overall work ethic of your team. Your players said that they felt they had a better skate today. The last games in the past now you look ahead. What are little things you try to work on in practice to ensure that work ethic and battle will be there tomorrow?
Well, it's amazing that the work ethic and battle wouldn't be there for game one, but for whatever reason, we were sluggish. There's things you can work on in practice. Like we worked on some things in practice today. We talked about some things, but unless you're willing to do them in a game, they don't matter much. So it's about doing it in the game. We look back at last night. We talked about it. It's in the rearview mirror. We got to play a lot better tomorrow. Again, you can talk all you want. You can practice things, but unless you bring it in a game, it's all for naught.
A question from Daniel Nugent-Bowman. Daniel, as soon as your microphone's on, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, just to piggyback off that a little bit, you said how disappointed you were. When watching the film today, aside from the power play, was there anything that you did like or that you feel you could build on for game two?
We had some players that actually did some things well. Did what we expect them to do. We had too many players that didn't, and we had some key players that didn't play near as well as we would have liked. And when this is a game and you get in playoffs, you need everybody maxing out. And last night, for whatever reason, we had some guys that just weren't up to par for what we expect from them, and I expect them all to be better tomorrow.
Next question, Bob Stauffer. Bob, as soon as your microphone's open, you can go ahead.
Dave, do you need a greater physical commitment from all your players against Chicago? They're a skilled team, and I know you got a lot of skill too. You had some good moments from your third and fourth lines, but you need everybody physically engaged.
Well, physically engaged, Bob, just doesn't mean going around hitting people. It means winning battles on the wall, battles for net front presence, checking. I mean, things like that. We need to be a lot more physically engaged that way. And what it does, it allows you to have the puck more. When you're not winning battles, when the other team's winning the puck more than you are, you're going to be chasing the game. And that's exactly what happened last night.
Next question to Ryan Rashad. Ryan, as soon as your microphone's active, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Andre. Dave, just a thought on Clefbaum and Larson, the pairing, and maybe some things you'd like to see from them to dial their game back in and tighten things up a bit?
Both of them need to be better. We rely on them for big minutes. Both of them were poor last night. We need to have them better.
Next question from Mark Spector. Mark, go ahead. As soon as your microphone's active, go ahead.
So if we read you right, Dave, this wasn't an X's and O's thing. So I would ask you, do you coach more between game one and game two or coach less? Do you need to put these guys in front of a chalkboard, or do they need to get their own act together, and do they need your help?
I think we all help each other in this, but like I say, you can talk about it and you can practice, but unless you bring it on the ice, and that's coming from being an ex-player, you can have lots of direction, but you get on the ice, you got to bring it on there as a team. And we didn't do that last night. So hopefully the talking and the practicing today will help us in that vein, and we show up tomorrow and put a lot better game on the ice.
Next question to Derek Van Diest. Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, hi, Dave. I just wanted to ask you about, playoffs are about emotion and about maintaining a level of intensity. And sometimes when you, in normal circumstances, you'd be able to feed off the crowd and with a big hit or with a big play. Now you don't have that. And I know you have a lot of quiet leaders on your team. Do you almost have to manufacture that on the bench? Do you have to get more active, like on the bench? Do guys have to be more involved in that regard to kind of try and keep that level, that energy up?
I think if you're going out of your way to try to do something that's not normal, it's a phony way. You create momentum, you create excitement in your game by what you're doing in the game. Just a rah-rah for the sake of rah-rah, I don't get that. But when your team plays well and you're engaged in the game and you're emotionally and physically engaged in the game, your team should have all the emotion it needs. And you got to remember, this is not, I mean, we're playing in our rink, but both teams are playing exactly the same situation. There's no fans, there's a little music in the background. So anything that's a distraction like that, that you think that is hindering your performance is not, repeat, not cognizant to what we're trying to do.
Next question to Ben Pope, Chicago Sun-Times. Go ahead, Ben.
Dave, what did you think about each of your goaltenders' performance yesterday, and have you thought about yet who will start tomorrow?
I thought both of them were fine yesterday. Smith's turnover was one he'd probably like to have back, but he made 2 point-blank saves before that we turned over the puck right in front of him. So that wasn't a goaltender problem yesterday. That was the players in front of him problem. And I'll talk about our goaltenders later tonight.
Next question, Daniel Nugent-Bowman.
Yeah, sorry, Dave, just to piggyback on that, just because you did rotate your goaltenders you kept a tight rotation, and you said how that has helped and did help during the regular season. How does your plan kind of deviate a little bit in the playoffs, given obviously that there's more at stake and every game matters a little bit more than the regular season?
The plan is day to day. We talk about it in the evening. We'll figure out who's going to play the next day.
We'll take 2 more questions. Jason Greger next. Go ahead, Jason, as soon as your microphone's active.
Dave, Tyler Ennis left briefly in that game. Any other lineup changes you're looking at as far as skaters for tomorrow?
No, we had everybody on the ice. Ennis is fine.
Question from Rob Tishkowski, and then we'll take one more after from Jack Marcus. Rob, go ahead as soon as your microphone's active.
Yeah, hi, Coach. There's the old saying in hockey that you can't just flick a switch when the playoffs come around and turn it on for the playoffs. In essence, that's what's being asked of this team right now. They have to kind of find that mental game that they didn't have in game one. Are you confident that they can do that, or are you still curious on what you're going to see in game two?
Well, you'd like to think, I thought we would see it last game, so you'd like to think it would come, but everybody's in the same boat. You know, it's not as if you had a run up to this or anything. It's we knew exactly what to expect, and you know, when you show up on the ice, you got to play the way you're supposed to play and give yourself a chance to win. And we've got to do a better job of that tomorrow night.
The final question from Jack Michaels. Jack, go ahead.
Does the battle level you're alluding to, Dave, also include the draws? Because a lot of trouble seemed to emanate off lost faceoffs yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's starting with the puck is a big part of it. You know, we give up 2 goals off faceoffs, one on the PK and one in even strength. So there's certain things that you want to make sure you're taking care of there. So that's certainly a part of the battle. I mean, that's a puck battle that starts right when the puck drops. So that's something you certainly have to be ready for.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Coach Tippett.